All right, we got a practice run in, right? What? All right, and welcome to homecoming at UNC Pembroke. Dave Nguyen, Brandon Hodge with us, and the Braves are currently on a two-game losing streak, losing to Carson Newman, unfortunately by the score of 63 to 18. But there are some positives to look at. It is homecoming. The Braves are 10-2 in their history on homecoming, including winning their last 6. Brandon, what are some keys for you to put the Braves back on track in the win column?
I think the quarterback play of Josh Jones today is a key factor. Last week on the road at Carson Newman, a tough place to play. Only threw for 121 yards, had two picks in that game. I think it's homecoming today, different feeling. I think he's got to get back on track today, especially at home.
At home, in every game this year, Josh Jones has thrown a touchdown pass, but to complement the air attack, we would like to see Josh Sheridan get going on the ground game. The last time we saw Josh have a really good game on the ground was against Catawba. He had over 100 yards rushing on 20-plus carries. He had 20-plus carries 2 weeks ago against Limestone, but he rushed for 70 yards and a touchdown. If Josh Sheridan can get things going on the ground game, I think that'll be a lot of success for the UNCP Braves on offense.
And Josh Sheridan running for over 300 yards this season. I think if he has a great game today at home, homecoming, big feeling, different feel today for the Braves. I think it will get going, and Braves will come out with a win today.
Mars Hill, they were down 19-0 the last week at Newberry, and then they went on to score 20 unanswered points to win by a final score of 20-19 on the road. A team that averages over 400 yards on offense, and they are led by a NFL sleeper in the NFL draft upcoming next year in Craig Rucker.
And Craig Rucker, All-American last season for Division II football. This kid, he's only 5'7", but he plays like he's 6 foot tall. Incredible vertical, has great vision for a wide receiver. You all are in for a treat today with Craig Rucker.
All right, we'll be back live shortly. Homecoming for the UNCP Braves against the Mars Hill Lions. Back after this on the UNCP Sports Network. All right. All right, welcome to Grace P. Johnson Stadium. Brandon Hodge and Dave Wynn on the call as the UNCP Braves come in with a record of 2-3 against the Mars Hill Lions, coming in with a record of 3-2. As we noted earlier in the pregame, the Braves are on a 2-game losing streak but look to get back on track on homecoming.
This is going to be tough today at home, facing one of the best Division II football players in the country, Craig Rucker, wide receiver, 5'7" out of Orlando, Florida. This kid can play. He's got amazing vision. His speed after the catch is unreal. This kid accelerates like none other that I've ever seen before. He is truly an amazing receiver. I'm astonished by what I've seen from this kid, and you all are in for a treat today.
Well, it looks like the Braves have won the coin toss and they have elected to receive. So the Braves will start off with the football first. Josh Jones and company will try to get things going for the UNCP Braves on homecoming. A couple firsts today. First time that the end zones are painted black. First time that the Braves are wearing gold helmets and gold pants. First time for everything. And the uniforms were debuted on ESPN at 8:45 this morning.
On SportsCenter this morning. Gotta love it. And this field, excellent field. Got the end zones painted. This is a great field. Homecoming changes everything, including the football field.
The Braves inside the huddle as they get ready to start things off. And to make note, the Mars Hill Lions are playing with their backup quarterback, Colin Sneed, who did all right against Newberry last week. Colin Sneed went 14 for 25 with 128 yards in the air and 3 touchdowns, where Mars Hill was down 19-0 at one point, but came back and scored 20 unanswered points. Back to receive for the Braves is the dangerous Devin Jones, man who has returned both an 87-yard kick return for a touchdown, a 44-yard punt return against Catawba to help the Braves set up. And talk about other firsts, not only for UNCP, but this is the first time that the kicker in Mr. Steven Sanchez will be kicking off, because the kicker previously for Mars Hill was hurt last week against Newberry. So Sanchez with an end-over-end kick, and we are underway from Grace P. Johnson Stadium. And it looks like Devin Jones will take that one near the 10-yard line, tries to come upfield to the 20, finds some room to the 30. Spins around, and the Braves will set up shop, 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
And I was looking at that play. I thought Devin Jones made a mistake there. I thought that ball might have went out of the bounds, the 1-yard line, or worst case, it would have went into the end zone. But no, Devin Jones makes a huge gain out of that one, getting to the 35. I can't question Devin Jones. He's done some amazing things on the field this season.
The 32-yard kick return for Devin Jones will set up Josh Jones and the offense. They line up trips to the left. And apparently the referees are waiting for the play clock to get things underway. A Saturday afternoon at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. Josh Jones, the sophomore quarterback, has thrown a touchdown pass in every game this season as the Braves come in with a record of 2-3. Unfortunately, losers of 2 straight, including one game against Limestone at home. And apparently both teams are going to go to the sidelines due to a bit of technical difficulties on the clock, I should say. So we'll wait for Josh Jones and the offense to set things up. But what we noted about earlier in the pregame, we want to get Josh Jones going, but especially the ground game going for this UNCP offense.
And Josh Sheridan, the main back for the Braves, him and McKinley Nelson, they're going to have a workload today on the ground if they want to win this game against Mars Hill. Mars Hill, a very tough team. they've gone through some very tough competition as well. First game of the season on the road at Virginia Military Institution, Division I program. So Mars Hill is not taking it lightly on their non-conference schedule.
Mars Hill, a team that on offense averages 401 yards. They have a balanced attack between on the ground and in the air, but they are not only with their backup quarterback, but also their backup running back. So a lot of injuries for Mars Hill, but UNCP, what Coach Richardson wants everyone to do is that they want to focus on themselves. They want to focus on what they need to do in order to win the football game. If they can, I'd rather them start with the run to set up the pass. That's just me personally. What do you think?
I think the run should definitely be the starter of this game. I think get some momentum on the ground. You want to get some yardage first. You're mainly going to get yardage on a run rather than a pass, more likely. So I think you start off with some running with Josh Sheridan, get him going early on, give him some momentum. You can expect a big game out of him with that expected momentum.
So after the stoppage of play, we'll get back to Josh Jones and the UNCP offense. Before the brief timeout, they line up in trips left in an empty backfield, and that's what they'll come out as. UNCP wearing gold helmets and gold pants for the first time this season. Jones with an empty set. We'll watch out for Quay 3 on the bottom of your screen in the slot. Jones, quick drop. There's a toss over to the near side for a short gain, and it'll bring up second down. As Sean Brown gets the reception, it'll bring up a second down and medium for UNCP.
And I don't dislike that play by Josh Jones. I think you want to get Josh Jones started early as well. Give him some quick passes to get him going, give him some momentum. So I think Shane Richardson leaning toward getting his two-star players going early on offense.
Second down for the Braves, a pitch and catch. Flea flicker. He's got a man downfield. He catches it. 10, 5, touchdown Marcus McDonald. A 64-yard pitch and catch on the flea flicker catches Mars Hill off guard, and just like that, the Braves have scored first in every single game that they have played this year. UNCP on top 6-0.
Talk about getting the offense going. A huge flea flicker play, tricking out the defense. Number 4, losing his DB. Huge play on offense. Huge for Josh Jones.
First, second touchdown reception of the year for Marcus McDonald. Braswell for the point after. Ball spotted, kick is away, and it's up and good. Just like that, 2 plays, 64 yards, and the Braves of UNCP are on top.
And homecoming can give a team a different feel. UNCP, they wanted to get out of the gate early on, put some points on the board. That's one thing they did not do against Limestone 2 weeks ago at home. They did not get the early momentum. That's what probably, unfortunately, cost them that game. But you see today, they are getting those points up there, and they are starting early on.
Nothing like a little bit of trickery to start off homecoming. So now Braswell will kick this end over end. Tyler Ferguson will be the main guy to receive this kick return for the Mars Hill Lions. There's a difference from playing with a lead and playing from behind. We saw that against Limestone, where the Braves had to come from behind after scoring the first touchdown. Let's see if they can keep their foot on the gas. They catch Mars Hill off guard, and what would help complement that strong offensive start would be a 3-and-out on defense.
Yeah, the defense has to get going as well. You got your offense going. Special teams look pretty good on the opening kickoff. Now your defense has to get some momentum into this game.
So Tyler Ferguson back deep to receive, as well as Craig Rucker. Seven 0 Braves on top, just underway in the first quarter. A little bit of a pooch kick by Braswell. And a great tackle to start things off for the Braves of UNCP. as Davon Sanders with a medium return, and the backup quarterback, Colin Sneed, will start things off on offense for the Lions of Mars Hill. Sneed against the Wolves of Newberry went 14 for 25 with 128 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, a pick, as well as 14 rushes for 39 yards. The main man to watch for Mars Hill will be their receiver number 2, Craig Rucker. Sneed lines up in the shotgun with a quick swing pass out to his running back on the far side. To the at the 25-yard line is the running back Rollis Frazier. Bring up second down for the Mars Hill Lions. Sneed heading into this game, it has completed 57% of his passes, 6 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Rucker lines up on the far side on the top of your screen. Sneed gets the handoff up to Frazier up the middle, and it's for about a 4-yard gain. That'll move the sticks, and it's the first down of the day for Mars Hill on the run by Rollis Frazier. Rucker now lines up in the backfield. He is noted as a wide receiver, but he is used as an athlete. You can use him in the backfield, and he lines up to the right of Sneed. Swing pass out to Rucker on the 30. Missed tackle. 40. Down the sideline near midfield. After the pitch and catch from Sneed to Rucker, that'll move the chains again for the Lions.
And you saw the elusiveness of Craig Rucker here, as you're going to see on your screen. Watch him shift out and cross up that little DB there. That is huge. Craig Rucker makes it look so easy.
Rucker now lines up and trips left towards the top of your screen. Sneed hands the ball up the middle. Now off right tackle towards midfield is Rollis Frazier. Or Elijah Jett, excuse me. It'll be a gain of about 4. It'll be second down and 6 for the Lions. So Elijah Jett, a game time decision, and it looks like he'll be starting things off for the offense of Mars Hill. Was not initially listed on the 2-deep depth chart, but if you're a Lions fan, you're glad that he's back in the lineup. Trips to the left as Sneed will drop back. 3-step drop, he rolls to the right. Airing it out downfield, has his fullback. Now there's a touchdown pass caught by the tight end or the wide receiver, Gilbert Johnson. A 51-yard touchdown for the Lions of Mars Hill, and awaiting a point after touchdown to tie this game at 7. So big plays on offense for both the Lions and the Braves. We're just about 3 minutes into this first quarter.
Big plays making the offenses here early on. And we see the receivers getting utilized by Mars Hill early on.
Ball spotted, kick is away, and the kick is good for the kicker, Steven Sanchez, the 3rd extra point he's made this season. We are all knotted up at 7. The big 51-yard strike from Sneed to Gilbert Johnson. That is Johnson's 3rd touchdown catch of the season, and it's a big one right now for Mars Hill. So as we've seen, both teams have explosive plays on offense. The way it's starting out right now, it could be a high-scoring game. The way both teams are able to have explosive plays down the field.
And that would be huge for UNCP. The defense, however, has got to get back on it. So we just saw letting big plays go early on. UNCP used a little bit of trickery on that first drive in their advantage. So now they're not going to be able to use trickery on every drive this game. They're going to have to think of some witty plays here and try to get some good plays downfield, get some yardage, get some medium plays here. The long play can work sometimes, but it's not going to work every time.
That is the 9th touchdown pass the UNCP defense has allowed this season. They have allowed 17 on the ground. So Devin Jones back to receive this kick from Steven Sanchez. So a 64-yard touchdown pass to Marcus McDonald was able to get the Braves on the board. Second play from scrimmage. And then the big 51-yard touchdown to Gilbert Johnson from Colin Snead. Jones will field this at his own 12. To the 25, tries to make a move. And the Braves will set up shop at their own 27-yard line. Just under 12 minutes left in this first quarter. If you're just joining us, you missed quite a bit. A 65-yard touchdown pass from Josh Jones to Marcus McDonald on a flea flicker. Got the Braves on the board in their second play from scrimmage. And then a 51-yard touchdown pass from Colin Snead to Gilbert Johnson was able to get Mars Hill on the board as well. So now Josh Jones will line up in the shotgun with Sheridan, the lone setback. Sheridan gets the handoff up the middle for a short gain near the 30, and it'll bring up second down for about a 4-yard gain. It'll be second down and 6 for UNCP.
It's the first carry today for Josh Sheridan. Josh Sheridan, they want to get him going early as well. You got the passing game going early, but now it's up to Josh Sheridan to get the running game going along with McKinley Nelson.
Sheridan averaging just under 5 yards a carry. Going to bring up second down and 7 after the 3-yard run by Sheridan. Gets the ball uphill again. Trying to bounce off the left guard and Johnny Varga for a short gain. It'll bring up third down for UNCP. It would be a 2-yard gain, so 3rd and 5 for the Braves. Ball is spotted on their own 33. Mars Hill defense that has allowed 415 yards per game, including 189 on the ground. Jones will line up in the shotgun with an empty set, trips to the right. Braves moving from right to left. 3-step drop for Jones, finds a man in the middle of the field, and will be good enough to the 40, a first down for UNCP. Fahim Diab, the big 6'5" tight end on the reception. It'll be a 7-yard reception to the 40, 1st and 10 for the Braves on their first third down conversion of today.
And the Braves, 42% coming into this game on third down conversions, 29 for 69. Add one more to that.
So from their own 40, Jones was set up from right to left. 3-step drop. Pocket collapsing. He escapes trouble and will try for an incomplete pass intended for his fullback, Rayshawn Griffin. And it will be ruled an incomplete pass instead of a sack. Jones lucky to evade pressure right here. As you watch the instant replay, the pocket collapsed, and he was able to evade 2 tackles and just get the incomplete pass off.
Josh Jones, he had a man in number 9 sitting there. Would have been a good short pass, but Josh Jones, I think, looking for the deep threat on that one, and that'll cost him.
Vines, the fullback, gets the carry up the middle, across the 45 for a 5-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Braves. Nothing better than handing the ball off to your fullback for a 5-yard gain.
And the fullback, you never see those in football anymore. Those probably one of the most underutilized positions in football nowadays, and UNCP has a good one.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I'm a bit of an old school kind of guy. I like lining up in the power eye and running the ball down the opposing defense's throat, but the way offenses are nowadays, it's shotgun set just like the Braves right now. And now there is the first penalty of the day. It'll be a false start on the UNCP offense on the right tackle, Reuben Willis. So unfortunately, that 5-yard run by the fullback Sam Vines is negated after the penalty. It's now 3rd and 10. Braves back to where they started on the 40-yard line after getting their first down of the game. Jones, quick drop, finds the man, and it is incomplete. Tyshawn Carter tried to complete the basket catch, and he can't convert. So now the Braves' first 4th down of this game today.
And it looked like this was a back shoulder throw to Tyshawn Carter. Carter just didn't realize it, I don't believe, and was to the back shoulder so he could have some room and escape the DB. But unfortunately, Tyshawn Carter not able to recognize the pass was to him. And we'll set up 4th down.
Isaac Parks. Oh. Rucker gets away from the punt. It's a good punt for UNCP. We'll come back after this. As Mars Hill will set up shop, you're listening to the UNCP Sports Network.
Freshly steeped legendary iced tea. Because how can you expect to win the game if you don't win the tailgate? Feed all the hungry tailgaters in your group with an 8, 12, or 20-piece Big Bow box. Bojangles, it's bow time, y'all!
For 20 years, and as a reminder, please help us keep the environment clean by discarding your trash in the designated trash receptacles inside of Grace P. Johnson Stadium.
Welcome back to Grace P. Johnson Stadium. Dave Nguyen and Brandon Hodge on the call. A tie game at 7. So both offenses had explosive plays on their first drives of the game. A 64-yard flea flicker touchdown pass from Josh Jones to Marcus McDonald got the Braves on the board in the first 30 seconds of the game. And then the Mars Hill Lions had a 5-play drive, including a 51-yard touchdown pass to Gilbert Johnson. The Braves just had their first 3 and out on offense, but Isaac Parks was able to pin the Lions on their own 9-yard line, so it would have to be an 81-yard touchdown drive, or 91-yard touchdown drive, if the Mars Hill Lions want to convert. Just under 9 minutes in the first quarter, Colin Snead will line up in the shotgun behind his own end zone. It's a quick handoff up the middle, but that Braves defense is swarming against the running back in Elijah Jett. Jett will just get back to the line of scrimmage, if anything. It'll be a 2nd down and now 9 after the 1-yard gain for the Mars Hill Lions. Snead will line up in the shotgun once more. Rucker in the slot towards the bottom of your screen, who has received a lot of NFL attention. Snead back to pass, and that pass is complete and caught to Javon Harbison for a median gain, and it'll bring up 3rd down for the Lions. More importantly, if you're a Lions fan, they are not in their own end zone. They have a little bit of breathing room.
And they have a lot of offensive weapons to hopefully get a 1st down. Hear a lot of talk about Craig Rucker, but they also have another wide receiver on this team, and Javon Harbison, who has 301 yards, 18 receptions, 4 touchdowns on the season.
Snead hands the ball off to his running back, Jett, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A swarm of Braves are there, including the defensive tackle, Tay Vereen, who is 2nd on the team in tackles with 24. And the first 3 and out is forced by the UNCP defense. Devin Jones might have great field position as he lines up just a bit over midfield to receive this punt.
And both defenses decided to show up finally after 2 huge long plays by both offenses. Now 2 3 and outs by both defenses.
Michael Johnson, the punter, from his own end zone. Jones will back up towards midfield, catches it at his own 45. Makes one man miss. Down the near sideline, Devin Jones. Inside Mars Hill territory, the best field position of the day so far for UNCP.
Devin Jones, another shifty player on this UNCP team. We talked about Craig Rucker, his shiftiness earlier. Devin Jones has something to show up for now for Greg Rucker on the day.
So Josh Jones and the UNCP offense back with some good field position. And Sam Vines, the fullback, in the backfield on the right hip of Josh Jones. Quick drop. Throws over. There's a screen set up. And getting near the 20-yard line is Trey Dixon, the 6'2 redshirt freshman, for a short gain. It'll bring up second down for the Braves.
Josh Jones better be glad he has decision-making on his side, as he got a pretty good hit on him on that tunnel screen.
4-yard reception for Trey Dixon. Second down and 6 on the Lions' 21-yard line. Just a little over 6 minutes left in this first quarter and a tie game at 7. Jones will line up in the shotgun. Buying some time. Flushed out of the pocket. Rolls to his right. Now he'll throw. And that is incomplete. Jones was looking for Marcus McDonald on the far sideline. At one point, you thought it was almost intercepted.
I did. I thought that was an intercepted pass, and then I thought McDonald had caught the pass, but I guess we're both wrong here. Incomplete pass.
So Jones thought he had some time in the pocket and had to be flushed out, and it's a 3rd and 6 for UNCP on the Mars Hill 21-yard line. Rayshawn Griffin remains in the backfield. Quay 3 enters the game, and as he's going to line up in the slot, trips to the right. Dixon lines up in the slot, trips to the right. Griffin, the lone setback. Jones hands the ball off to Griffin, off left tackle, finds a seam, getting across the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down as the Braves were short of the first down marker. And a big decision right now for Shane Richardson and his UNCP Braves. The big tight end Fahim Diab as well as Josh Sheridan enter the game. And it looks like the Braves are going to be aggressive and go for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Braves have full confidence in Hunter Braswell nailing this one. It looks like they want to go aggressive here.
Braves so far are 5 for 9 on 4th down this season. Jones flushed out to the right. Throws, finds Quay 3 for a first down and a little bit more. Gets across the 15-yard line on the 4th and 3. Big first down pickup for UNCP to continue the drive.
I like the play call by Shane Richardson in this offense. And great job by Josh Jones, able to set his feet up for the pass to Quay Threet. And great job by Quay Threet reeling it in. Doesn't look like the defense had any idea that Josh Jones was going to roll out there.
3 will get a breather on the sideline as the Braves will line up 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line of Mars Hill. McDonald goes in motion from right to left. Sheridan gets the ball up the middle. Finds a seam off left tackle. 5, touchdown UNCP. We talked about Sheridan in the pregame, and boy, he gets on the board in the end zone to put the Braves up 6.
We talked about him in the pregame. Get that momentum going for the offense, especially Josh Sheridan. You want your run game to have an advantage today. And we saw here Josh Sheridan turning on the Jets, getting in for 6.
The 13-yard touchdown run by Josh Sheridan. His 4th touchdown run of the season. Braswell for the point after. Parks the hold. Ball spotted, kick is away, through the uprights, and good. Braves 2 for 2 on offense, resulting in touchdowns. They remain perfect, perfect 17 for 17 in the red zone. 12 touchdowns this season in the red zone. Just a little over 4 minutes left in this first quarter on homecoming. Now, Brandon, you are a student here at UNCP. What does homecoming mean to you?
Well, homecoming, I mean, You have a lot of parties going on around campus. You have the homecoming parade. Yeah, I got to say, there's a lot of parties around.
Spoken like a true college kid.
There's a lot of homecoming festivities. You have the homecoming parade, which goes on until pretty late in the evening as well.
I was there.
Yeah, and a lot of students actually, a lot of my classes, a lot of students actually got woken up by the homecoming parade. So there's a lot of festivities here. You got to expect it in college, though.
14-7 UNCP, 2 for 2 on offensive drives. Their first drive lasted 2 plays on the flea flicker. But now Quay 3 with the big 4th down reception to keep the drive alive. Devin Jones set up that big punt return to set up the offensive drive inside Mars Hill territory. Ferguson will be back deep to receive this kick. A little squib kick by Braswell as the UNCP special teams tried to catch the Mars Hill Lions off guard. Luckily for the Lions, they recover the ball. Their best field position of the day as they start from their own 35-yard line.
A lot of trickery today by the Braves. We saw the flea flicker that went for the first touchdown of the game for either side, and then see a little pooch kick there.
So Sneed will set up shop from his own 36-yard line. Lining up under center is Sneed. Quick pitch and catch out to Rucker on the far side. First down and more. Gets the ball near midfield. And you talked about Rucker in the beginning of this game. The quick pitch and catch catches the Braves off guard. It's 1st and 10 once more for the Lions as they approach midfield.
You can see on that replay the acceleration after the catch by Craig Rucker. So good at that. He is such a versatile athlete.
13-yard reception for Rucker. 1st and 10 for Mars Hill on their own 49. 3-step drop and a quick strike out to Tyler Ferguson for about a 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 6 as the Lions cross midfield.
And Mars Hill moving the ball effectively on this drive. Already seeing a 1st down and some good yardage here on the second 1st down.
Sneed will now line up under center. Hand off to Jet. Tries to make a man miss. And he gets across the 45-yard line. 2nd down and 6, a 3-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd and 3 from the 44-yard line of UNCP. Crowd trying to get on their feet. Braves trying to force the Lions to punt. Empty backfield with Rucker, the lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. Sneed kicks him in motion. Throws over to the far sideline. It's a catch that's complete and caught for a 1st down reception is Javon Harbison. They needed 3 to pick up the 1st down. Harbison gets a 5-yard reception and moves the chains for the Lions. Quick pitch and catch as you see on the instant replay. No one covered Harbison on the far sideline. That is an unfortunate defensive breakdown for the Braves.
It looks like Mars Hill was trying to move fast, but substitutions here costing them the momentum of this drive.
Jet gets the carry. Makes a couple of men miss in the backfield. Breaks a couple more tackles. Gets across the 30. And it's about a 10-yard run. Let's see if the referees will give the Lions the 1st down. And the referees will give him the 1st down. 1st and 10 on the 10-yard run by Elijah Jet. Jet puts on the Jets for the Lions.
That is huge for Mars Hill, trying to keep the tempo up here on this drive.
Sneed kicks Rucker in motion. Pitch and catch fumble. Scooped up by the Braves. And now the referees rule the play dead. If anything, because it was a forward pass, it is ruled an incomplete pass in the backfield. And Shane Richardson, a defensive-minded head coach, wanted that to be a scoop and score for the Braves.
Yeah,
Instead, it's one of the weirdest incomplete passes you'll ever see, either high school, college, or professional football, and it's 2nd down and 10. Mars Hill has life from the UNCP 30-yard line. Shotgun is Snead, fakes the handoff to Jet. Pocket collapses, and Dominique Davis is there. Man who has received a lot of NFL attention gets the big tackle for loss in the backfield for the Braves defense. It sets up a 3rd and long. Davis gets penetration in the backfield for the 3-yard sack. His 4th sack of the season. It'll bring up 3rd down and 13 for the Mars Hill Lions, as there's an injury on the field for the right guard, Michael Foster. He'll receive attention. So now that it's 3rd and long, for UNCP, you need to play at least sticks defense.
Yeah, they need to keep this one conservative. Do not let any big plays go here. Do not let the big play affect you. We've already seen it did affect them one time in that opening drive for Mars Hill, and it's a 3rd and long.
For those who don't know what sticks defense is, it basically means that the defensive backs will line up at the 1st down marker and allow everything in front of them rather than behind them. UNCP will play with 2 deep safeties. Snead in the gun, 3-step drop, pocket collapses, he's going to run to the 30 to the 25. He will be close as he gets to the 22-yard line of UNCP. And it looks like he will be just short, a 4th down and short for the Mars Hill Lions. And it looks like they'll keep the offense on the field. They have a first-time kicker kicking in this game today. I don't think they would want to put their hands in the feet of Steven Sanchez, the kicker. So it's going to be a 4th down and 3 after the 10-yard run by Snead. He lines up under center, kicks. Oh, it's a trick play, trying for the Philly special, and it works on the end around. Near the end zone, to the 1, as flags fly. C.J. Thompson on the end around. On the big 4th down call by Mars Hill, but there is a penalty on the play.
And I'm not sure, but it looked like we saw a Mars Hill helmet go flying in the air. I'm not sure if UNCP ripped off a helmet because the flag came right after that helmet went into the air. And this wouldn't cost them too much here, but still doesn't look good for UNCP.
So 2 costly turn penalties for UNCP after the big end around. As we see on the instant replay, Rucker was able to pitch it right back to his receiver in C.J. Thompson. It'll set up a 1st and goal. That penalty by UNCP sets the Lions up half the distance to the goal. So it's 1st and goal from the 2. Lining up under center is Snead. They'll try to push forward on the quarterback sneak, and he's in for the 2-yard touchdown. 14-13 Braves awaiting the point after. So the big 4th down conversion on the double reverse. C.J. Thompson gets the ball on the near sideline, runs down to the 4, and after the penalty, the unsportsmanlike call on the Braves defense sets him up 1st and goal to 2, and then a little push into the end zone on the quarterback sneak.
We've seen a lot of trickery from both offenses today and on special teams for UNCP.
Flea flicker by UNCP. The end around on the double reverse by the Lions. Now there's a stoppage of play. as we have 22 seconds remaining in this first quarter. A lot of scoring similar to the last home game against Limestone, but more scoring in the first quarter by Limestone rather than the Braves. This time, barring this point after touchdown, as there's a penalty on the play. So another penalty on UNCP, playing a bit of undisciplined football on the defensive side. Ball spotted, but the kick by Sanchez is blocked. Scooped up, running down the far sideline, and unfortunately tackled at the 30-yard line. A big defensive play for the Braves. The block, scoop and score, scoop by Jack Uren. This is a play that we will look back as Uren tried to scoop and score, and that is the second extra point that is missed by Sanchez this year.
You got to think Mars Hill actually was moved up for the extra point, and UNCP still gets the block. Great job by UNCP on the defense, getting that block. This could change the complexion of the game.
So, 22 seconds remain in the first quarter. We've seen a flea flicker for a touchdown. We've seen a double reverse on 4th down for a 13-yard run. We saw an incomplete pass on a toss from the quarterback Sneed to his receiver Rucker, and now a blocked extra point. You can't make this up.
And if you like offense, this is your game right now. Already 2 touchdowns by each offense in this first quarter. And if we're going on average, this game would finish 56-55.
Devin Jones back to receive this kick for UNCP. There's a bit of a pooch kick. Jones will let the ball bounce out of bounds, and that'll be a flag, so the UNCP offense will set up at its own 35. So costly penalties right now for both teams, because if you're Mars Hill, you've already seen the explosiveness of UNCP's offense. You don't want to give them good field position. If you're the Braves, you've had unfortunate penalties after offensive plays were over on defense, and that cost you, as Mars Hill is able to make this a 1-score game. Luckily, special teams have come through for UNCP. So UNCP and Josh Jones, the quarterback, will set up shop on their own 35-yard line. Braves wearing gold helmets and gold pants for the first time this season. The uniforms were so flashy that they were debuted on ESPN this morning. Here's a run in the backfield and tackled for a loss. Is D'Angelo Blair Young, as we have seen a lot of running backs so far for UNCP in this game. Blair Young remains in the backfield as he was tackled for a loss. The first quarter is over. 14-13 UNCP over Mars Hill, large in part due to the UNCP blocking an extra point. We'll be back after this. Stay here on the UNCP Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to recognize 2 scholarship recipients from the new Omicron chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. The new Omicron chapter established 2 annual scholarships with UNC Pembroke, one in honor of Clarence Garrett and Andre Spicer, and the other in honor of Cephas Edge. The scholarships are representations of their selfless dedication to the fraternity, community, and country, and their unwavering pursuit of achievement. This year's Clarence Garrett and Andre Spicer Scholarship recipient is wrestling's Tyler Makosi. This year's Cephas Edge Scholarship recipient is men's basketball Carson Mounts. Presenting the scholarships are Clarence Garrett and Andre Spicer. recipients, New Omicron alumni brothers, and UNC Pembroke Athletic Director Dick Christie. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause to Carson, Tyler, and the New Omicron chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated.
Welcome back to Grace P. Johnson Stadium. Dave Wynn, Brandon Hodge on the call. Second down and 11 for UNCP on their own 34. A 1-yard loss by D'Angelo Blair Young makes it second and 11. Blair Young gets the carry up the middle, breaks a few tackles, gets past the original line of scrimmage towards the 40, but it'll be third down and long for UNCP after a gain of about 5, excuse me. It'll be third down and 6 for the Braves. As they're shifting through a lot of running backs, if you're a Braves fan, you are concerned about the health of Josh Sheridan. Lining up in the shotgun with Sam Vines, the fullback, is Josh Jones. 3-step drop, pocket collapses, and that pass is caught but short of the marker. A 5-yard reception. Quay 3 on the catch, and it'll bring up a 4th down and 1. And Shane Richardson, head coach for UNCP, being aggressive. And maybe I spoke too soon because the Braves are now going to punt. They're on their own 45, and they'd rather pin Mars Hill back towards their own end zone, but you got to be careful because Craig Rucker is back to receive this punt. Rucker, and now UNCP will call a timeout, and some could argue that they're lining up for a fake punt. Now, we know about that because the coordinators for the Lions are right next to us in the booth. There is a divider, but they are speaking quite loudly, and I think that's to our advantage to see, for the audience, for what's going on.
And we've also seen a lot of trickery today from both teams. It wouldn't have surprised me to see a trick punt there by UNCP. We've already seen the end around, the flea flicker, the little pooch kick there, trying to give UNCP the ball back on that kickoff. So it wouldn't have surprised me to see a fake punt, but obviously that's out of terms now.
So fake punt pass or fake punt run?
Well, I would have assumed a fake punt run, considering it's just 4th and probably inches. But you never know. Fake punt pass, fake punt run. Could have went either way.
Plays I memorized while playing Madden. So now the Braves line up in an odd punting formation. They have one man to snap the ball, and they have the rest. Oh, there we go. Isaac Parks with an end-over-end punt. Rucker to receive it at his own 15. Tries to make a couple men miss. Couple missed tackles, but there go the Braves. A swarm of them. And there are also a flag flying as John Jones was there on special teams to make the tackle for UNCP. Jones, the first UNCP hat on the ball, and a great tackle below the belt, something you don't see every day here in college or the NFL. So a penalty on Mars Hill on Trey Giles. That punt is negated half the distance to the goal. Mars Hill right now shooting themselves in the foot. They have a extra point block. They now set up and have to go 95 yards to score a touchdown. Braves defense trying to take advantage of this opportunity as Colin Snead and the offense set up shop on their own 7-yard line. Hand off to Elijah Jett. Can't get upfield. There's a swarm of Braves to make the stop. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Mars Hill on their own 7-yard line. Just a little over 13 minutes left in the first half. 14-13 UNCP. Both teams have scored on 2 offensive drives, their first 2 offensive drives. But a blocked extra point is the difference right now, as UNCP's Jack Uren was able to recover a blocked extra point. Sneed flushed out of the pocket, rolls to his right, and he'll just have to throw this one away. 3rd and 10 for Mars Hill. And the last time the Mars Hill Lions had a 3rd and long situation, it was because of a Dominique Davis sack. They need to be careful because a medium gain could force Mars Hill to go for it, but realistically, their backs are towards their own end zone. So a crucial stop right here is needed for UNCP. If you're Mars Hill, you need to get things going and get out of your own end zone. You need a 10-yard reception from your own 8-yard line to keep the chains moving with just under 13 minutes left to play in the first half. Sneed will line up in the shotgun. UNCP shows blitz on the top of your screen. And the play is blown dead. A delay of game penalty. So not only the penalty from the punt half the distance to the goal on the block in the back, but now a delay of game will make it 3rd and 15 from your own 4-yard line. If you're Mars Hill, you cannot have these crucial mistakes in this ballgame.
And it's just been something that's been persistent all season long. This Mars Hill team averages 11 penalties a game.
Sneed in trouble, throws out of his own end zone just to get rid of it and not have a safety. The pass is incomplete for Elijah Jett, and another great defensive stop for UNCP.
And Colin Sneed just barely getting that ball forward. That ball very close to going backwards, which would have been a fumble on the play and a possible UNCP touchdown, but nonetheless, Mars Hill now punting out of their own end zone.
So the last time we saw Devin Jones receive a punt return, he set up shop for UNCP on the Mars Hill 35-yard line. He lines up at the 37. A bad punt. Questionable, as the ball may have hit a UNCP player. Instead, UNCP will set up their offense on the Mars Hill side of midfield, as they'll take over 1st and 10 from the Mars Hill 43-yard line.
This is great field position for UNCP. They need to capitalize on this drive now. You have great field position like this. You're in Mars Hill territory. You need some points on the board. Keep getting this lead up.
UNCP holds one because of the blocked extra point by the UNCP special teams unit against Mars Hill. Jones lines up in the shotgun with Sheridan the lone setback on his right hip. Quay 3 in motion from left to right. Jones flushed out of the pocket quickly. Spinning around, running down the far side, tries to throw downfield and has a man caught out of bounds on the far side. It's Tyshawn Carter. There's also a flag on the play. There's a 15-yard reception by Tyshawn Carter. We'll await the penalty. A block in the back on UNCP. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So UNCP will now have a first down, this time on their own side of midfield. 1st and 20 from their own 47. Jones with an empty set. Quick pass. Caught at midfield.
Jones's pass is complete
To Sean Brown. Trying to get the Braves back to the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up second down. Second down and 15 after the 5-yard pitch and catch from Jones to Brown. Sheridan back in the game for the offense. As Jones will line up trips to his right. Watch Quay 3, the slot man towards the bottom of your screen. Marcus McDonald, the receiver at the bottom of your screen, has caught the touchdown pass on the flea flicker. Jones drops back, quick 3-step drop, and the pass is incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Jalon Nixon. And it's going to be 3rd and 15 for UNCP.
That's just a mistake on Josh Jones. He had a lot of time to throw this ball and just overthrew his target.
The 3rd and 15 for UNCP after the overthrown pass to Jalon Nixon from Josh Jones. Jones so far 7 of 10 for 91 yards and a touchdown pass. But that was a 65-yard flea flicker touchdown pass to McDonald all the way back in the first quarter. Jones, 3-step drop, pocket collapses, and he is sacked in the backfield. Jerry Roberts. And now it'll force the Braves to punt. So what was great field position for UNCP, the block in the back negated the punt return by Devin Jones. So they had 1st and 20 and just couldn't get things going offensively on this drive. And Parks can't catch this ball. He pooches it. And now that Mars Hill will set up shop towards their own 40-yard line. Earlier in this game, the Mars Hill Lions were making the mistakes. Now it's UNCP.
Yeah, UNCP, you got to get that snap there. The long snapper had it in the right spot. Isaac Parks just could not come down with that. A rare mistake by Isaac Parks, and he does the best thing he can and just tries to pooch this one up, try to avoid great field position for Mars Hill.
Score remains 14-13. The blocked extra point by the special teams unit of UNCP is the difference. Colin Sneed will line up in the shotgun from his own 39. 2 receivers to his left and right with Jet, his lone setback. Swing pass over to Jet on the near side, and he can't complete the reception. It was a low-thrown ball as Sneed was under heavy pressure. Give a lot of credit to the UNCP defensive line.
And we've seen a lot of mistakes today from both teams. You can see that ball, it was catchable. Target just did not catch the ball, and that seems to be the story. We've seen some long plays early on. We've seen a good bit of offense early on, but now it's 14-13, and it's been deadlocked so far in the second quarter.
So a lot of scoring in the first. We have not seen any since then. 2nd and 10 from Mars Hill on their own 39. Jet, flea flicker. And the pitch and catch is caught. Who else? Craig Rucker on the wheel route from the flea flicker. Rucker with a big reception continues the drive for the Lions.
This has been a game of trick plays. Mars Hill pulling out the flea flicker now. We could see anything in this ball game at this point.
1st and 10 for Mars Hill, this time on the UNCP 33. After the 28-yard reception by Rucker, Jet gets the carry up the middle, bounces off right tackle. Well, gain a few as he tries to get to the 30-yard line. It'll be about 2nd down and 6 for the Mars Hill Lions. So 2 flea flickers, a double reverse. that we have seen so far, as well as a blocked extra point. Jet remains the lone setback with trips to the left. Sneed in the shotgun. Hands the ball up the middle to Jet. Finds a bit of an opening and then collapses, and he's tackled at the 30-yard line for a short gain. Dominique Davis on the stop, who had the big sack earlier today. It'll be a 3-yard gain to set up 3rd down and 5. Third and 5 from the 29-yard line, or 3rd and 6, excuse me, from the 29-yard line of UNCP. Sneed in the shotgun with Jet the lone setback. He gets the carry up the middle. He is close to the 1st down marker as he crosses the 25-yard line. Dominique Davis once again on the stop. And it looks like it'll be 4th down and short as Davis makes the stop. Dominique Davis receiving attention from teams like the Lions, the Patriots, the Jets, the Cardinals, and the 49ers. 4th and 3 for the Mars Hill Lions as they try to continue this drive. Sneed lines up under center. And there's a timeout now by the Mars Hill Lions. In this game, the Lions have converted on 4th down and 3 before. That was on the double reverse. If you're UNCP, your defensive ends need to seal the perimeter to force Mars Hill going back into the meat of the defense.
And be prepared for the trick play. We've seen so many trick plays today. This is a good 4th and 3 right here. Mars Hill can pull out another trick play. Be prepared for it. We've seen it all day long. UNCP just has to read the play, and it's really hard when there's trick plays. You just can't read the offense as well as you want to.
This is a Mars Hill Lions offense that averages 401 yards per game. They average 207 yards on the ground, as well as 277 in the air. ...124 yards on the ground, 277 in the air. So about roughly a 2-to-1 ratio in regards to pass to run. As it is homecoming today, Brandon, you are a student here at UNCP. The Braves are 10-2 on homecoming this year, winners of their last 6.
And the real difference maker, however, they're 0-2 all-time against Mars Hill. So this is just kind of a toss-up game if homecoming has a huge effect or not on UNCP today.
Big 4th and 3 from Mars Hill. From the UNCP 26-yard line. Sneed drops back to pass. Looks downfield, and it is caught for a touchdown. Craig Rucker. On the big 4th down conversion, Mars Hill 2 for 2. As Rucker beat the defense, beat Devin Jones on a wheel route, and that Mars Hill takes their first lead of the game.
And this was just pretty easy by Mars Hill. When you have a threat like Craig Rucker on your team, you're going to make things look really easy.
26-yard touchdown pass, and it only makes sense that Mars Hill is going for 2 as they're up 5. Sneed in the shotgun. Motions Rucker from left to right. He's at the top of your screen. Rolling to his right. Fires towards the end zone, and that pass is broken up. Incomplete. And another big stop for the UNCP special teams unit. But Craig Rucker open as the Braves could not stop Mars Hill on another 4th and 3. They take their first lead of the game with 7:40 remaining in the first half.
And on that 2-point conversion, I don't know if I necessarily agree with going for 2 at this point in the game. I think the extra point would have been the safe option because now you're only up by 5. And you have to score 2-point conversions, 2 2-point conversions now just to get back with UNCP's flow on offense.
We're going to take a break in the action and watch some in-game entertainment. We'll be back after this on the UNCP Sports Network. Welcome back to Grace P. Johnson Stadium, home of the UNC Pembroke Braves. Live from homecoming, UNCP wearing gold helmets and gold pants for the first time this year. The uniforms were so flashy that they were debuted on ESPN at 8:45 this morning. Also, first time that the end zones are painted black. 19-14 after the 26-yard touchdown catch from Craig Rucker. Is a Pooch kick, bobbled, crowd around the football. And it is fortunately recovered by the Braves. As Trey Sawyer, the linebacker, was able to recover his brief mistake and keep the ball alive for UNCP as they set up from their own 40-yard line. Officially spotted at their own 38. Josh Jones will set up with trips to his right. Sheridan, the lone setback. Three-step drop, screen set up for Sheridan. Across the 40 to the 45 near midfield. First down and more for Josh Sheridan. Let's see if he can keep this drive alive. We have not seen Sheridan throughout the first quarter.
Yeah, Josh Sheridan, he's been a little bit on the light side today in his load management, but as you see there, he gets the screen pass and gets the first down for the Braves. Hopefully he can produce some more momentum for this Braves offense.
12-yard reception on the screen pass for Josh Sheridan. First and 10 for the Braves at midfield. Vines now the tailback, known as the fullback. Play action. Jones finds his tight end Nixon to the 45-yard line. It'll be second down for UNCP. The 7-yard reception will make it 2nd and 3.
One thing I've noticed today, Mars Hill is getting into the backfield of UNCP very easily. Josh Jones does not have a lot of time to get this ball off, and that could be an issue throughout the rest of this game.
Just under 7 minutes remain in the first half. Mars Hill has their first lead of the game. Jones trying to hurry up the offense. Kicks his tight end Nixon in motion. Handoff up the middle for a first down and more for the Braves of UNCP. Travis prints his first action in the game as UNCP has rotated through 4 running backs today.
Not sure if Richardson wants to get even with all the running backs this season. I'm not sure. Kind of an odd sequence here of running back usage today.
Prince with the 9-yard run sets up 1st and 10 for UNCP at the Mars Hill 34. Jones under pressure, and he can't throw it away. He's sacked in the backfield. And just as UNCP was able to get things going offensively, that tackle for loss was set up 2nd down and long for the Braves.
And like I said, Josh Jones, he just doesn't have much of anywhere to go. Josh Jones tried to make a play with his feet. Instead, he's going to take a loss.
So here's something you don't see every day. Both fullbacks in the game for UNCP as Sam Vines and Rayshawn Griffin line up in the pistol gun formation. Quay 3 in the slot at the top of your screen. Here's the handoff off left tackle to Rayshawn Griffin. Trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Ball appears to be loose. And it is a fumble and recovered by the Lions. A costly mistake by Rayshawn Griffin and the UNCP offense. And now there's a player injured on the field. As we watch the instant replay, Griffin could not get his knee on the ground. The ball was punched out of his right arm. And we'll go to a stoppage of play for the injured Brave. You're listening to the UNCP Braves Sports Network. So welcome back to Grace P. Johnson Stadium, where UNCP unfortunately coughed up the football. Fumble recovered by the Lions of Mars Hill. Snead in the shotgun, hands the ball off to his running back Frazier up the middle, tries to get near the 40-yard line for a short gain. He gets it to about the 42. A 4-yard run will set up 2nd down and 6.
And mistakes have been the key in today's game. UNCP fumbling the ball again and giving Mars Hill another opportunity.
First time UNCP fumbled the ball, they recovered it on the kick return. Unfortunately, Rayshawn Griffin coughed up the ball and was unfortunately hurt on that same play. Snead back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. Finds his open man receiver towards midfield is Javon Harbison.
There are so many receiving threats on this Mars Hill offense. As I mentioned earlier, Harbison. You also have the All-American Craig Rucker. This is just an explosive offense.
As well as Tyler Ferguson. Rucker leads the South Atlantic Conference in yards as a receiver, averaging with 105 per game. Snead, pocket collapses, gets across midfield, and gets towards the 45 of UNCP. It'll be a short run. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 4 this time for the Lions. Just under 4 minutes left in the first half. Lions of Mars Hill on top, 19-14. Their first lead of the game. 2 receivers to the right and left of Snead, the quarterback. Swing pass out to the running back in Frazier. Makes a couple men miss. Gets down across the 40-yard line. A 7-yard reception for Rollis Frazier. It'll be a 1st and 10 as Mars Hill continues to move the chains. An offense that averages over 400 yards a game seems to be finding its rhythm right now as we get closer to the end of the first half.
And you got to think, despite all the mistakes in this game, UNCP still in this ball game as we inch toward halftime.
Rucker lines up in the backfield off the left hip. Rolling out. There's a catch by Tyler Ferguson towards the sticks. He's going to be close. It'll be at least a 9-yard reception for Ferguson. It'll bring up now 2nd down and 1 for the Lions as they are marching in Braves territory. Clock continues to run as we're under 3 minutes left before halftime. Snead lines up in the shotgun in an empty set. Now he brings back his running back Frazier off his right hip. In the near slot is Rucker towards the bottom of your screen. Frazier, handoff up the middle. He needed 2. And it's a fumble recovered by UNCP.
I'm at a loss of words, honestly. This is unbelievable. Both offenses coughing the ball up on back-to-back possessions. I haven't seen anything like this so far this year.
Amari Bryce Green on the fumble recovery. And now with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go before halftime, UNCP will go hurry up, get the 2-minute offense out on the field, and try to punch in some points before halftime. Jones lines up in the backfield with trips to his left. Gets the handoff to Sheridan up the middle. Bounces around, makes a couple of men miss. Josh Sheridan across midfield to the 40. Gets down to the 35. A huge run for the redshirt senior.
And that is the Josh Sheridan that we know. And he hasn't gotten many carries today, but that one, a huge part of the UNCP offense on this drive. You mentioned they were going hurry up, but they can kind of slow things down a little bit now after that huge run.
Sheridan with a 34-yard run. 1st and 10 for the Braves with just over 2 minutes left in the first half. And they continue to feed Sheridan as he gets across the 30 for a 5-yard gain. Sheridan now coming into that run, 5 attempts for 65 yards. It'll be now 6 for 70 as we are now under 2 minutes left in the first half.
And this game today on homecoming has been about the big play and mistakes, surprisingly.
In the shotgun with the fullback Vines in there to block. Sheridan gets the carry. Off right tackle. Forward progress gets him near the 25-yard line. He will be close for a first down. It looks like Sheridan will be about a yard short, so it's 3rd and 1 and a smart timeout by Shane Richardson and his UNCP Brave squad. Minute 17 left as the Braves are continuing to drive, trying to capitalize off the turnover that they forced. So UNCP fumble the ball, and then the Mars Hill Lions give the ball right back to the Braves. 2 turnovers we have seen in today's game, and right now they're both pointing to be crucial.
And that is the 8th fumble lost on the season for Mars Hill. That's the 12th fumble of the season for Mars Hill. So discipline not on their side for the season, as they have a lot of penalties going for them and they cough the ball up a lot.
So to recap, if you're just joining us, the first offensive possession for UNCP, 2 plays, a flea flicker 65-yard touchdown from Josh Jones to Marcus McDonald. And then on the first offensive possession for Mars Hill, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Sneed to Gilbert Johnson. UNCP had great offensive field position on their second drive of the game, and that is why Josh Sheridan ran it in for 13 yards. A score by Craig Rucker makes it 19-14, and it's 19-14 because on the second touchdown on the quarterback sneak by Sneed, the extra point was blocked by the UNCP special teams unit. Jones on 3rd and inches, sets up in the shotgun, calls an audible as he lets his offensive line know the defensive alignment. Gets a shotgun pass or snap, quick pitch out towards the left side, and it's good enough for a first down as Travis Prince now has 11 yards on 2 carries today and keeps the chains moving for UNCP.
And that is huge. You don't want to give the ball back potentially to Mars Hill, although they probably would have went for it on 4th down nonetheless, but still keeps the chains moving, and UNCP, they can be up at halftime against Mars Hill.
Prince remains the lone setback. Sheridan, 3-step drop. Finds McDonald on the far side. He gets a first down and more. Clock will stop temporarily to move the chains as the good pitch and catch for about 15 yards for UNCP sets up 1st and 10 inside the 10-yard line of Mars Hill. 1st and 10 for the 11, so the important thing for UNCP with 40 seconds left is that they can get another first down. Sheridan in the hurry up, or Jones in the hurry up, rolls to his right, trying to look for the end zone, finds Quay 3 at the 5, down near the 2. Clock temporarily stops. as there is a timeout on the field. And referees want to let everyone know that it is possibly a first down reception for the Braves. Instead, Quay 3 is 1 yard short, a 9-yard reception for 3 with 21 seconds and counting. Jones hurrying up in the shotgun, hands the ball off to Prince, and he's stopped in the backfield. A big tackle for loss by the Lions defense, now with 13 seconds remaining in the half.
And I thought Mars Hill was going to go Jadeveon Clowney on that one. That was almost a brutal hit. However, no damage done.
So the tackle for loss hurts because not only did the Braves not get the first down, because it was a run play, the clock continues to run. So they were smart. Richardson is smart, calls his second timeout. So with 13 seconds left, you want to try to get the first down to temporarily stop the clock and keep the chains moving. The least thing you can do is set up for a field goal, but knowing this Braves offense and how powerful they can be, how powerful we have seen them throughout the season at home, they want to punch this touchdown in for 6.
Yeah, I think so, and I wouldn't be undoubtedly so that UNCP is going to pass this ball here. You don't want to waste any time off the clock. You only have 13 seconds. You have no timeouts now, and if you don't get this first and goal, you're going to need a field goal. So you need time on the clock still to be able to do that.
It would not shock me if it's a broken play and Jones decides to use his feet to try to get into the end zone. If he were to do that, you would want to spread the defense out, have at least 4 wide, and try to set things up. It looks like Fahim Diab, the 6'5 tight end, will remain in the game. UNCP lines up with 2 running backs and a tight end. So 21 personnel in for UNCP as they line up in the pistol gun formation. Sheridan the lone setback with Sam Vines, his fullback, lining up in front on the left side of Jones. Play action, end zone, touchdown! Tyshawn Carter. And just like that, on the slant to Carter, is a touchdown for UNCP, and they retake the lead. As we look, play action in the pistol, slant by Tyshawn Carter, one-on-one coverage, and he's in the end zone for 6.
I love this play call by Shane Richardson. Great way to draw this one up. Exactly how I called it, I think. Passing play, you don't want any time off the clock if you don't get that first and goal, and they're going to go for 2 here.
Jones floats to the end zone. McDonald is in. The first 2-point conversion we have seen today. Mars Hill 0 for 1, UNCP 1 for 1. And now the Braves not only have the lead, they have a 3-point lead with 9 seconds remaining in the half.
And not a bad decision by Shane Richardson to go for 2 here. You got to think, Mars Hill, if they kick a field goal potentially, that could win them the game, even though you got to think there's going to be more offense in this game. But however, still a good decision by Shane Richardson, and it pays off.
So right now, points off turnovers is in favor of the Braves of UNCP. 8-0 points off turnovers. If we look at these statistics for both teams, Mars Hill outgaining the Braves in yardage 242 to 213. UNCP has the edge on the ground 88 to 79. Josh Sheridan, 7 carries for 74 yards and a touchdown. Josh Jones, second touchdown pass today. He now has 8 touchdown passes this season. And it's only ironic as the song "This Is How We Do It" is playing in the background here at Grace P. Johnson Stadium. That is how we do it. We score touchdowns here. We don't settle for field goals.
And I ultimately think the 2-point try by Mars Hill put them in this position right now. They're down by 3 now. And this game has changed as UNCP most likely will have a lead going into halftime.
Every Braves fan hopes so. Squib kick by Braswell is recovered, and Mars Hill will set up on their own 35-yard line. Prince Cowart on the recovery for the Lions. If you're UNCP, Marcel is not going to knee this ball. Their offense is too potent for that. They've thrown a double reverse and a flea flicker at you. So you want to have at least 3 deep if you're setting up your defense.
Yeah, be prepared for the trick play. We've seen it all day from both sides. 8 seconds left. They could pull something out here.
The Braves have 4 down linemen. Snead in the shotgun, throws downfield, pitch and catch. Flag on the play. And tackled out of bounds on the pitch and catch is Javon Harbison, but there is a flag on the play. You called it, Brandon. Watch out for the trick play. Let's see about this penalty. So a crucial penalty on UNCP as Devin Cowan with unnecessary roughness. So now the Lions will have an untimed down as there will be half the distance to the goal on top of the reception by Harbison.
And that is due to the flag at the end of the second quarter. You have to have one more possession off of a penalty.
So now Mars Hill will line up for a tying field goal on an untimed down due to the penalty on Devin Cowan. Sanchez will be back, or Michael Johnson now. Ball spotted, kick is away, and the ball goes through the uprights and good.
That is the end of the half, ladies and gentlemen. We are tied and
Kick is made by Tanner Fox.
towards the second half. Please stay
And we head into halftime, tied at 22. Brandon, what are some of your final thoughts as we head into halftime time?
I think mistakes by both teams are going to need to be limited in the second half. It's a tied ball game here at halftime. We expected UNCP to have the lead going into halftime, and a huge trick play, and then the penalty forces a field goal by Mars Hill. I think the penalties right now for both teams and the turnovers are going to be key in the second half. Which team is going to turn the ball over less?
If there's any optimism we saw